Welcome in Skyrim lovers, Queen Reaper back with another Skyrim roleplay build video, and today's video is going to be on the Cleric build. Clerics are great melee range soldiers who also specialize in one-handed weapons, shields, and providing buffs and restoration for their companions. This is a great build if you're wanting to use multiple followers and play a support role while letting your companions do most of the work. So if you're interested in seeing how I did this Cleric build, then stay tuned because we're going to jump right into it. Okay, first things first is we're going to start off with the 3 best races you can pick for a Cleric build, and the first one is going to be the Breton. They already have a boost in magic skills plus a resistance to magic. They also have the dragon skin power they can use once a day to absorb spells Magicka to restore their own. Next we have the Altmer, who carry improved stats in Magicka. They also have the Highborn power, which helps them regenerate their Magicka if they run out quickly, which can come in handy since we're using mostly magic for our restoration spells. The third option would be the Imperials, and that's because they have increased stats in both combat and magic, which are both skills we'll be using for the Cleric since we'll be using one-handed weapons and shields and restoration magic. As for standing stones, we're going to pick the Mage Stone when we first start off, and reason being is because it will help improve your Magicka skills by 20% faster, which is what we will need when leveling up a restoration. Once you have your Magicka all the way leveled up and you are able to cast Master Spells, then you can swap out that stone for the Lady Stone. The Lady Stone helps regenerate your health and stamina more quickly, which is what we will need towards endgame since we'll be putting most of our attribute points into Magicka. The Lady Stone can be found on a lone island here on this giant lake to the west-northwest of Lakeview Manor. As far as your attribute points go, you're going to want to go with the 3-1-1 method. So for every 3 points you put into Magicka, you will put 1 point into both health and stamina. This is where swapping to the Lady Stone will come into play, as it will help regenerate your health and stamina quicker since we did not put any points into it early on. As far as quests, you're going to want to definitely do the Mage's College first, because contrary to popular belief, the School of Restoration is actually a valid school of magic. So we're going to work on that all the way up till you can do the Master Spells. Then you're going to want to talk to the lady herself, Meridia, and contrary to popular belief, this is actually a very good quest because the reward is Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker is a Daedric artifact that, when used, burns the target for 10 points, and when killing an undead, it carries a chance to cause a fire explosion that turns or destroys nearby undead. While Dawnbreaker should be your weapon of choice for this build, there are a few other choices that you can get early game that are fairly easy to get, one of which being Chillrend. Targets hit with this weapon take 15 points of frost damage and also carries a chance to paralyze the target for 2 seconds. This weapon can be achieved by doing the Thieves Guild questline. Next weapon is the Nightingale Blade. This weapon absorbs 5 points of health and stamina per second from the target. This weapon can be also acquired by doing the Thieves Guild questline up unto the Nightingales. The third option is Windshear. Bash attacks made with this weapon have a chance of knocking enemies down. This weapon can only be acquired on the bow of the Kataraya, which is outside of Solitude, and can only be achieved once starting the Hail Sithis quest in the Dark Brotherhood questline. As far as wearables, the Amulet of Amara will not only provide some interesting dialogue, but will also provide a 10% reduction in restoration spell cost. As far as shields, an easy one to get early game would be the Shield of Ysgramor. You get this by completing the Companion's questline. Not only does it increase your health by 20 points, but it also increases your magic resistance by 20%. As far as more powerful endgame shields, you can get the Shield of Solitude. This shield increases magic resistance by 30%, and your block skill does 35% more damage when using your shield. This shield is a reward by completing the Wolf Queen Awakened quest given to you by Falk Firebeard in Solitude. Next we have Spellbreaker. Not only is Spellbreaker one of the most ancient relics in Tamriel, but it can almost completely guard its wielder against any magic spells. This shield can easily be acquired by doing the Only Cure quest for the Daedric Lord Peryite. Finally, we have Ariel's Shield. This shield stores the energy of blocked attacks, and performing a power bash with this shield will release the stored energy, sending enemies flying. This shield you can acquire in the Forgotten Vale during the Dawnguard questline. Now for the skill trees. There are 4 main skill trees that you're going to want to work on. The first one being, of course, your restoration tree. There are 3 main branches in this tree that you're going to want to work on. Of course, starting with the Novice Restoration perk, we're going to make our way to the right and get the 1 perk with dual casting, and you're also going to get the branch for Recovery, which regenerates your Magicka 25% faster, and Avoid Death, which once a day lets you heal for 250 points. Next, we're going to move to the branch over and unlock each perk in this branch, as it allows you to learn each level of magic up to Master. After that, we're going to move to the second branch from the left with the 2 perks. The first one being Regeneration, which allows your healing spells to cure for 50% more, and Necromage perk, which all your spells you use against your undead are more efficient, so Turn Undead will be more powerful against Draugr. After that, we're going to make our way over to the block skill tree, and you are going to want to unlock all the perks in this tree as well. You're going to want to focus on the right side of this tree first, although you will unlock all the perks in the tree. Perks include Power Bash, Disarming Bash, Shield Charge, which allows you to knock down enemies as you charge them with your shield up, Elemental Protection, which blocks against elemental magic, and you're able to move faster with your shield. The third skill tree we're going to focus on is the One-Handed tree, and you're going to want to level up the center branch that splits in 2. Perks include Critical Charge, Savage Strike, which does 25% more damage, and the Paralyzing Strike, which has a 25% chance to paralyze the target. The final tree we're going to focus on is the Heavy Armor tree, and you basically only need to level up the right side of this tree. Of course, Juggernaut, you're going to level that up to 5 out of 5, which gives you an increased rating in your armor. Well Fitted gives you a bonus for wearing all heavy armor. Tower of Strength gives you a 50% less stagger when you're wearing heavy armor. Matching Set gives you an additional 25% armor boost when wearing a matched set of heavy armor. And of course, Reflect Blows, which gives you a 10% chance to reflect any damage and project it back onto your enemy. Now for the Magicka part of the build, scrolls are going to play a huge part in this, as they will provide buffs and restoration for your party while conserving your Magicka. Some of the scrolls you're going to want to look out for will be Bane of the Undead, which sets undead up to level 30 on fire as they flee. Call to Arms, which improves your party's combat, health, and stamina skills for 10 minutes. Banished Daedra, which sends weaker Daedra back to oblivion. Circle of Protection, which any undead up to level 8 will flee upon entering the circle. Ebony Flesh, which improves your armor rating by 35 for 60 seconds. Fast Healing, which heals the caster for 49 points. Grand Healing, which heals everyone close to the caster for 110 points. Scroll of Harmony, with creatures and people up to level 23 won't fight when entering the circle. Scroll of Hysteria, where creatures and people will flee upon entering the circle. Scroll of Iron Flesh, which improves armor rating by 30 points. Mass Paralysis, where all targets in the area that resist are paralyzed. And lastly, Shalador's Insights for restoration. You get these by retrieving Shalador's book for Orog in the College of Winterhold. As for shouts, there are several that are beneficial for this build, the first one being Battle Fury, which enchants your companion's weapons, allowing them to attack faster. Bend Will, which forces your targets to do your bidding. Of course, Unrelenting Force, and Mark for Death, which causes your opponent's armor and life force to be weakened. Mind's Peace, which causes aggressive animals to lose their desire to fight. Green Vitality is also a good shout to have in case you do not have Mark for Death. Dismay causes enemies to run in fear. Disarm causes weapons to be ripped from your opponent's hands. And lastly, Call of Valor, which summons a warrior from Sovngarde to come aid you in battle. This shout has a 3-minute cooldown, so use this shout sparingly. Here you will see all the restoration spells you're going to want to focus on finding and learning. You don't necessarily have to focus on wards, as you'll be carrying a shield around, but you're going to definitely want to focus on spells like Close Wounds, Fast Healing, Grand Healing, Turn Undead, Turn Greater Undead, and Guardian Circle. Having a couple extra perk points left over to put into your alteration by unlocking Oak Flesh and Stone Flesh, which will help boost your armor rating, is also very beneficial. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the video. I hope this is beneficial to you, and I hope you do decide to do this build. If you do, drop in the comments and let me know what you think of it, and also leave some ideas for build videos in the future. Of course, if you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like. Feel free to subscribe to catch future videos. Check me out on Twitch at Queen Ripper Gaming, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Have safe travels throughout Tamriel.